Hey,
All right.
so we're in the final stretches now?
Yes, we have a working app. Let's make it better.
Yeah.
Because it works isn't enough for this course. I think that's one of the main ideas here in this course is that it isn't enough to make the thing work. That is the least you can do.
Yeah, it's enough is not never an option. Like that should, if you are in the industry or even if you're in academia, submitting something saying it works is not acceptable. Like you have to do better.
It really depends, and that's why I think this course is so interesting. Everything depends. If we had this as a prototype to show to a customer,
fair.
this would be good enough, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or if this is the entire app and you are the only user,
Then it's fine. Yeah,
It's
you
good
know the
enough.
quirks and you know how it's written, so it's fine.
yeah. But in this course, we are establishing patterns for growth.
Yep.
So we don't want to just throw this code away next week or to just have it for ourselves. We want to share this with our collaborators.
Yes.
We want this to be readable.
And for TAs to actually evaluate it.
Also for you to get a good grade.
Yes. If I don't understand what's happening, I'll give you a 0. I'm kidding.
So the first thing I want to do here is to fix a bug.
Yeah.
If you don't provide a description, this thing returns null.
Yeah, and React will go crazy.
And then when we return null to React, React will complain. I think we had this in the console here. It was complaining that some things were null.
Yeah.
They must not be null. So I never want null in the database, so I just put here a default empty string.
Yeah.
And that will solve that.
That should be that, yeah.
Also, I will create here a branch for refactorings and review, and I could have different branches for different tasks, but I think there are going to be so many.
Yeah, exactly. Like just have a simple one.
Yeah, I'll just do a refactoring branch, and it will touch the whole code base. Yeah. So in this refactoring branch, the first thing is going to be this solving this bug, which isn't exactly refactoring.
But it's still like it's a thing that's
such a small thing that I won't bother. Oh, and by the way, I promised that the tests would pass. They're passing, so we did all the bookkeeping off camera. We created a pull request, accepted it, and the state of the board right now is like this.
Yeah. So let's create an issue out of this now.
Yes. Let's convert to an issue. And there are many things we may want to do, but we don't even know what they are.
I have no idea what we're supposed to do.
So we'll figure it out, and we'll add them here.
One by one, yeah. Fair.
Yeah, and then probably on the next episode, we are going to carry out all this change. Let's see. So let's see everything.
From the start, yeah.
Yeah, this is everything we created so far.
Yeah.
The git ignore, I'm happy with. It's ignoring the things that the IDE is creating.
Straightforward.
In the CI, I'm happy with this configuration.
Yes.
I don't want to change anything about this. There is a hack here to sleep and everything, but there is no easy way to solve this.
Yeah, to go around this. So it's okay.
Here, this is something I want to change. This is all inconsistent. Sometimes I'm using double quotes, sometimes I'm using parentheses. So this is something I want to do, but it's such a small thing that I think I can just do it right here on the spot. So I want everything to be single quotes because it seems like that's the prevalent thing.
Yeah.
And they were double quotes before because I was copying and pasting this from all over the place. Now we have some consistency here. It appears that I'm using double quotes in other places. I was copying from other places. I suppose I can use single quotes everywhere. I think that they mean exactly the same.
Looks like it. Nothing's breaking. So.
Yeah. And I assume that IntelliJ will complain if I mess up build.gradle. So yeah. And I believe that everything else looks good here.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next one. These are wrappers. Proc file. The proc file looks good.
Yeah, this is for Heroku.
Yeah, that's for Heroku.
That's all.
Oh, we deployed to Heroku without even realizing because it happens automatically. So let's go to TODOOSE
and see if it works now. Yeah.
HerokuApp.com. We haven't been there in a while. Oh, there it is. And we can create things. And it takes a while. I mean, I click.
So there's latency.
There is some latency because it's going to the server to update everything. But it's working.
Yeah.
I can open the same app in a different browser and everything will update
in
on real time.
Almost. But yeah, fair enough.
as close as 0 time as we are going to get. And we can mark items as done as well.
Yeah.
And as soon as we restart the app, this whole database will be gone.
Yep.
Because that's the nature of using
Heroku,
SQLite in Heroku. But it's working. Awesome. We didn't even have to deploy. It just did it for us. Yeah, I'm so happy with this. This is working so fine. All right. So for
I
the
didn't
README,
realize that. Actually, like that was a surprise. I was like, yeah, we're working on localhost, and apparently Heroku did it.
Yeah. So the README, we are going to write this as documentation on iteration 3.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'll do
at
that
the
off
end,
camera.
Off camera. We might just outline what we're supposed to do, but that's about it.
Yeah. So settings Gradle, we didn't even touch this file.
No.
It was created by IntelliJ years ago, back in episode 215. System properties is telling Heroku which runtime version.
Yeah.
And this is our database.
Yeah, that's fine. Then
so for documentation, we could look at the Postman thing.
Yeah.
So
we do have to export the new collection. We didn't do that.
You were right. Forgot to do that. With the
how on earth is it working then?
Because it didn't even run these tests on Travis.
No, that was not my question. My question is we added a put request and we did not export it, right?
We didn't export the tests for...
No, not even tests. Oh, right, yeah, fair, yeah, okay. Tests might not be working.
Well, tests
didn't run at all.
Didn't run in Travis. Yes. They will run now, and we may run into problems with that, but I assume that I can come here to the runner, and click on run, and everything is going to pass.
Exactly.
So TODOOSE, run all the tests, they're all passing. Yeah. So they're going to pass in Travis.
Yeah.
One can hope. But let's see. So we could write some documentation here for the whole API, and probably I will. But let's look at the requests. Looks good to me. This pre-request script appears everywhere. We are creating a new item in all the pre-request scripts. Yeah. We could
standardize it.
We could do something else. We could come here to the whole API, and there is a pre-request script for the whole thing.
Yep, exactly.
We could do that.
Are we doing it for edit though? Can you check? Yes, we are.
We are doing it for everyone because we want to have at least one item in the database every time. So we could do that. I wouldn't like it though. So this is a discussion we can have. There is a principle called don't repeat yourself.
Yeah.
We want to avoid repetition.
Yep.
But I think that there are some places in which repetition is good, and I think that tests is one of them. Because if we remove this pre-request script from here and put it in the whole API, then we know what we are doing, but whoever is opening this request will not see the green dot. They will not realize that there is a pre-request script here. They will have to learn more. They will have to come here to the whole API, go to edit, see the pre-request script, and then realize that, for instance, here in the create items, in the delete items, this item identifier is coming from the pre-request script. Okay. And also, suppose there is one request that we want the database to be empty. Suppose that there is like an archive list.
Yeah, and all of it goes away.
And the whole thing is empty now. We want to test that the database is empty, but now this is doing a pre-request script even for that one.
Adding an item to the database.
So this is a fine line.
Yeah.
You want some repetition. You don't want to repeat yourself all over the place. So I think that we can leave this as is.
Okay.
We may want to change like the description of some tests, like here in tests, we say status code is 204 and status code is 404 or if item isn't found, something like that. And the same for edit. And there may be something we can do about this.
But I have a question though.
What is the question?
404 implies that it is not found. You don't need to write it. It's implicit.
Yeah, the only thing is, if you run the tests and you see the messages here, you see status code is 204, status code is 404. Well, which is it?
Okay.
But that's the only thing. I don't think it's a major thing anyway. And yeah, we could try to rewrite some of these tests because some of them are kind of weird. But like this one, we are checking that the thing doesn't include, and then we're parsing ins. There may be a better way to do this, but I'm happy with this guy.
It works fine.
The purpose of a test is to give us confidence, and I'm confident with this test. So I'm going to export again with the new description that I just wrote. I may write some more documentation for the requests themselves, because there is a way for you to do that.
Descriptions.
And then if you come here to the documentation and you click on the request, you see a description for each request. We may not even need that because they're pretty self-explanatory. I may write some documentation here, but I may not. I may not.
It's for the entire collection.
Really. So have I exported?
No, I don't think.
So we are exporting again, and it exported successfully. Next, let's look at the tests. I want to start with the tests.
These are straightforward though.
Yeah, I don't think there is anything else we could test here in the application unless we tested the database part of it.
Yeah.
Which is something I don't want to do in this level. We already have Postman doing that.
Yeah.
So this would be for logic, but the only logic we have is
it's exactly, so you don't need.
So I won't change anything. But it's good to revisit. So now let's go to resources and to, this thing is good.
We're not touching that.
Ideally, we would have a build system for JavaScript because we are now doing the whole compilation of JSX into JavaScript on the browser, which is slow.
Oh.
And we are even getting a warning for that.
Yeah.
We are Babel is complaining. Babel is the translator. It's complaining that you should do something else for production.
Yeah.
But I don't want everyone to have a build system for JavaScript on their machines.
Yeah.
So we are going to keep this hacky approach of just importing scripts, and they're right here. Now here is, there are many things I want to change about this. I want to at least extract the styles and the scripts into their own files.
Yep.
So let's go here to add a task. Extract CSS and JavaScript into their own file. That's something I want to do, and it may take a little while, so I'm not going to do it right now.
Yeah.
But the HTML is I think it's
fine.
That's
okay, that's fine.
It's just going to put a mount point for the application. So we just want to extract these. And the rest, I could add some extra tags here, like a meta tag for author or whatever.
I don't think that makes a difference, to be honest.
I will not do that.
Fine.
So the HTML looks fine to me. Also, we need to look at the CSS itself. It's just doing a very simple thing to render better fonts.
Yeah.
It is.
This is the margin at the top.
Yeah, we have two buttons.
Margin at the bottom.
Are you still happy with the idea of two buttons? I think I am.
I think, yeah, because considering if we have a longer list, it makes sense.
Yeah. So. While we are here, we are going to do some refactoring and some fixes, right? We are reviewing the code.
Yes.
So we fixed already a bug in this episode. We fixed the
default
JSON.
value.
Yeah. We fixed the Postman thing that we forgot to export. We are going to change some CSS as well.
Okay.
So strictly speaking, refactoring is just changing the way your code is doing.
Yeah, working. Exactly.
It's changing the way the code is working, but not changing
what your code is doing. Yeah, exactly.
It's doing. In this case, we are going to do some of both.
Yeah.
We are playing fast and loose.
How about this? How about we just list all of this out? Because even CSS will be experimentation.
Yeah.
And we can do it on the next episode.
Yeah. So here, what I want to do with the CSS at least is to remove these bullets.
Yeah.
And maybe the border around the thing, but just generally make things look prettier in CSS or with CSS. In JavaScript, there are many more things I want to do, many more. Because here we are using React in the most naive way possible.
Right.
We are always mounting the application again and again.
Yeah.
That's not how React was designed to work. So first order of business, I don't want to render the thing
the
again
entire
and
application.
Again. Yeah. So in JavaScript, use React more properly.
Yeah. Efficiently.
the first thing is don't remount the application every time.
Yeah.
And how that works, well, we'll see that in the next episode, or maybe even the next one, 2 episodes from now, because this is quite tricky. We'll have to do some re-engineering here to not re-render the whole thing every time.
Yeah.
Also, I want to extract these components because there are many things going on here. We have a button, we have another button, we have a list, we have an item,
and text fields everywhere.
In the form, they are all complicated. They are all complicated pieces
and intertwined almost.
So I want to extract components. From these. Also, I don't like how we are conflating different responsibilities.
In a sense?
We are conflating the responsibility of rendering the list, and while we are rendering the list, we are also saying the checkbox, oh, this is what the checkbox does. It goes to the server and does such and such. The problem is, there are 2 different things. I want to render a checkbox
and then
that deletes.
Separately,
And then there is another responsibility that is deleting means going to the server and doing this.
Removing from the
server. I want to extract the responsibility of. So I want to extract what I'm going to call the controller. The controller is the guy that knows that delete means going to the server. So extract controllers from views. I'm going to call these views. They are views. The buttons are views.
And in the MVC architecture.
And they, the view is going to call the controller on click, and the controller knows
will
how
actually
to
do what it's supposed to do.
So we are going to extract the different responsibilities. We are going to tear pieces apart.
Abstract it away. I think, that's it. Like model it as MVCs.
We have never talked about MVC, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Views and controllers, like you said.
But the idea here is that we are going to peel the the pieces apart so that we can look at some code and see just what the view is. And then we can see on the controller, oh, this is what it means to edit something. This is what it means to delete something. And then if we have to change the API endpoints, we are going to change all that in one place.
Particular places.
So extracting components.
That way you don't have to rewrite the same code 15 different. You do it in one place that gets called separately every time.
For one thing, you can see some repetition here and here, right?
On-click methods, yes.
So this is something that we want to avoid.
You just need one function that is called both places because it's doing the same thing.
So in the tests, I told you that I wanted to repeat some things. Here, I want to adhere to the principle of non-repeaters.
Exactly.
So this is it for the front end. I also want, while we are working on the front end, I want to revisit how we did some of the things.
Meaning?
Because we explain things very fast here.
We'll do. I think it's a good idea to actually talk about how we did put requests because it was slightly confusing. So if we can just go through it one by one, it'll be much easier and
when we have components and controllers, that code will look a lot cleaner.
Exactly. You will be able to understand it easily and not have to worry about it.
So here on the server, there are many things I want to change as well. Well, the first is we appear to be importing something we don't need. Okay, remove that import using Option Control O to organize imports. There are many things I don't like about this. The first is that we even have the class item here as an inner class, not an inner class, just another class in the same file. So I want to extract.
It has to be in separate files.
I think that this one is so fast I can do it right here in IntelliJ because there is a refactoring menu that allows us to extract
class,
superclass, method, parameter. Well, maybe not.
Maybe not after all.
Not that good. Move?
I don't know.
I think this may work. To package. Move class, item, to package, to TODOOSE.
That's fine.
I'm going to call it. I'm going to create another package just for models.
Okay.
Models are the things that we are testing with our tests in JUnit, and the things that have the business logic. In this case, the business logic is just holding data.
Data structures here.
But we could talk about things like if we were developing a game, the game rules would be in the models.
In the models, exactly.
So search, comment, refactor. Let's see. The package, do you want to create it? Yes. And okay.
Oh, that way let's refactor controllers and views as well, I think.
So here we now have a class server, which is just the server. The item is gone. IntelliJ, well, array list is not there. It appears that there is some problems. Let's see. No, yeah, so it extracted to us this class called item, and we need to make it public. IntelliJ was not that smart. And it also created a package, models.
Models, yeah. And that fixes the import problem in server.
I suppose so. Yes. So now everything is still working. All right. Now, how do we tell if the thing is still working? While we're refactoring, well, that's why we wrote the tests. So we can always rerun the server, come back to Postman,
and run the suite itself.
Rerun the whole tests, the whole entire suite of tests. TODOOSE, run.
And there you go.
Okay, so
we're fine.
We are refactoring. We are not breaking the code. Also, I should run the tests, the JUnit tests for Java here, because I want to make sure that it is importing everything right, but it seems to be because IntelliJ was smart. But I can run this by clicking on run test. And yes, works. It all works. Also, because the model is now in its own package, I want to move this into its own package as well. So item tests goes into another package, so we can come to refactor and move and go into the models package. Continue.
That is not right.
It went here. It went here.
No, that is definitely not right.
Definitely not right. So I want to undo. All right. I will create a package. New package. And I don't know if I have to tell it the whole name or just models.
Whole name.
Just the name. And then if I move, refactor, okay. Item tests. Now it's under the models package. Unused import. Okay, fair. That's because it's now in the same package.
So you don't need it, yes.
Okay,
that's all.
Rerun these tests only. They're still passing, fine.
1 second. Go to the console. What's that at the end?
Oh, didn't go well. Test events were not received. Maybe it's because I ran the tests the wrong way. Yeah, I ran the tests using a previous configuration
exactly.
instead of instead of clicking here. Okay, so that is okay. The tests are still passing, but that's not the end of it. I still want to. Well, let's look at the item first. I think I'm happy with the items.
Yeah, item is good. It's straightforward.
So small.
You don't need to do anything there. But server is complicated. We should really have different functions doing all of this.
Yeah. So the same business. I was talking about how in the front end we are doing the rendering of the view along with the controller, which is fetching data from the server. Well, this is handling things like HTTP requests. Also, it's going to the database.
And
also, it's mapping data from the database back into a model. And then it's handling things like, oh, this is how you respond.
It's converting,
So it's doing a lot. It's doing different responsibilities in the same class. So if I need to change something about the database, I will have to come here and change all of this. If I need to change something about the API endpoints, I will need to come and change all of these. Which is annoying. So I want to separate these concerns. So this is going to take a while. So I'm going to add this as an extra task. So separate what I'm going to call controllers in the server. Also, I want to separate. So the controller is going to be responsible for
backend and database.
No. The controller is going to be responsible for handling things like this, rendering the JSON. it's not going to be responsible for communicating to the database. That is going to be another responsibility we are going to extract. So let's see. We are going to separate or to extract things from the server. One is the controller.
Yeah.
Another one
database
is going to be database
connection
stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll do that in steps. So with that out of the way, I think that I'm happy with everything else that I see here.
Yep.
And that about wraps it up, I think, because that is the whole app.
Yeah. I think we went through every file.
So that's how you review something. You go over the thing you wrote and you do like you would do in English. I suppose you start seeing, oh, I would want to change this paragraph.
Typos, rephrasals.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here.
And we are not going to create a pull request and merge this just yet. We are going to do a bunch of things
and then
do that in all at the end.
But convert this to issue.
And now we have a lot of work.
Yeah.
All right. See you on the next one.